So with Pokemon Sun and Moon, we're already receiving a bunch of game-changing abilities, moves, and Pokemon that are sure to shake up the meta in great ways. However, today we're going to take that all one step further and talk about the top 5 moves I'd like to see in Pokemon Suns and Moon's Gen 7 metagame. All that and more coming right up. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Danny Mac with Nerd Hype, and we are back for another Sun and Moon discussion video. So just to keep in mind, this video is purely made from fiction. It is not by any means canon in the games, and is just something I made for fun, and ideally what I'd like to see in competitive scenes. Remember guys, this is just my opinion, and I primarily made this video to start a discussion with other competitive battlers as to whether or not they think these might be viable. This is my first time doing this too, by the way, so go easy on me. Anyways, let's jump right in. Starting with number 5! Out of all the moves in this list, this is probably the only one which isn't insanely competitive, or at all really, but still, thought this was a fun move to use in chill battles or maybe just against your friend in friendly battles. Big shoutouts to my boy Super Kami Zach for this idea, which he actually told me about when I was telling him about this video. I'll have a link to his channel either in the card or annotation or in the link down below. This move is called Roll Dice, and it can either be a normal or fairy move with a PP of 15 at max. This move is actually very similar to Metronome, as it rolls the dice on all possible moves and transforms a roll dice attack slot into whatever move you roll. This stays for the duration of the switch-in, meaning you can reset the roll dice attack every time you switch in your Pokemon. Like I said, not much competitive value, but it's still a fun move to try against friends. I mean, say you have a couple Pokemon all that can learn the roll dice move, and you just kind of roll the dice. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, you just have fun with your friends. Possible users of this move would be someone like Mr. Mime, Smeargle, Togetic, and Pachirisu, just as an example. Here's number 4! Next up, we have one of the 2 support moves I've included in this list. This is an attack called Sky Boost, and is primarily used for double and or VGC battles. This would be a flying type move with a PP of 8 at max, and would generally be the antithesis of the already existing move Gravity. Where Gravity makes it so flying and levitating Pokemon can't stay afloat in order to avoid ground type attacks, Sky Boost would do the opposite. This move creates a strong air current that keeps your party afloat for 4 to 5 turns, essentially giving everyone the levitate ability on top of their original ability until the Sky Boost peters out, kinda like Tailwind. This would work great to cancel out Gravity or give immunities to Pokemon that would otherwise take serious damage from ground type moves like Earthquake and Earth Power. In my opinion, that has some definite competitive viability as it can force trainers to think twice about freely Earthquaking opposing Pokemon upon switching, but that's just me. Possible uses of this move would be Mega Pidgeot, Talonflame, Tornadus, and Thundurus. And number 3! For the number 3, we have a rather cliche name for a pretty decent move in my opinion. Brainstorm is a psychic type attack that takes its inspiration from other moves like Whirlpool and Heatran's Magma Storm. Description reads as follows. The user unleashes a flurry of its stored mental capabilities, engulfing the opposing Pokemon in a psychic storm that traps the users for a duration of the attack, 4 to 5 turns, causing chip damage every turn. However, this only has a base 70 power and a base 85 accuracy with 10 PP at max, so there is some wiggle room around this attack for Pokemon that like to dodge. This would be a great trapping move for bulkier psychic types that like to use stall in order to win games, or even the fast psychic type that can come in, trap something, and switch out to something more advantageous, like a setup sweeper with Swords Dance or agility. Guys, this definitely has some viability in both singles and doubles, and honestly, has the potential to make some Pokemon so broken. Can you imagine a Calm Mind Reuniclus or Cresselia stalling you out with this? Traps you for about 4 to 5 turns, toxics you, sets up, heals up over the cover of Moonlight, and bam, you're dead after a few toxic turns as well as Brainstorm chip damage. I definitely think this has some viability in any playstyle, and would be a great move to use in general. Possible users of this move would be Alakazam, Reuniclus, Cresselia, and Alolan Raichu for the hit and run Brainstorm plus Volt Switch combo. On to number 2! Now we have the second utility move on this list, once again created strictly for doubles and VGC matchups. I'm sure many of you will be aware of the defensive move Wide Guard, in which Pokemon protect their partners and themselves from moves that strike both Pokemon at once, i.e. attacks such as Precipice Blade, Surf, Rock Slide, Earthquake, etc. Well, here comes this new one, Spread Move. A normal attack with 8 PP at max as well as priority, Spread Move spreads out single target moves in order to hit both opponents. Imagine the possibilities of that. Turning Scald, for example, which has a 30% chance of burn, being turned into a double attack that could potentially burn both Pokemon on this side of the field would be amazing. How about a double knockoff, double T-Wave, double Fire Blast? Imagine that. This move of course has the damage of moves if it hits both opposing Pokemon, for example turning Scald from a base 80 attack into base 40 each, but still with a 30% burn chance. That's a lot of viability for a lot of reasons, but also this has potential for a lot of mind games. Does your opponent expect spread move and take a small amount of damage, or do you choose to focus the entire power of your attack into a single Pokemon? Who knows? Possible users for this move: Hitmontop, Clefable, Klefki, and Mr. Mime. And now, number 1! Okay, look, we have moves that inflict damage and induce status for just about every status condition there is, right? I mean, we have Sludge Bomb / Wave for 30% poison chance, T-Bolt for paralysis, Scald for burn, Blizzard and Ice Beam for freeze, so what are we missing here? Oh right, sleep. We're missing a move that can put you to sleep upon inflicting damage with a 30% ratio, so that's what we're here to fix today. I personally had 2 ideas for this type of move, either Dark or Ghost type with different names, but generally the same effects. The description goes as follows, starting with a Dark type move, Conjure Up, a special base move at base power 80, 100% accuracy, and 16 PP at max. The user attacks with a Shadowy Thought, conjuring up the opposing Pokemon's deepest fears. This move has a 30% chance to cause sleep upon inflicting damage, conjuring up the Pokemon's harshest nightmares. I know it sounds a little bit creepy, but I mean, what did he say? Possible users for this move would be Zoroark, Umbreon, Darkrai, and Yveltal. And its Ghost type equivalent, Nightmare Bomb, which pretty much has the same stats, and the description goes as follows. Your Pokemon attacks the opposing Pokemon with a manifestation of its nightmares, inflicting heavy damage as well as a 30% chance of sleep. Possible users of this move would be Gengar, Giratina, Bayonet, and Cofagrigus. In my opinion, this would make the metagame pretty fun, and make it so opponents have to be wary of opposing Pokemon as well as Sleep Claws. Causing damage plus a chance of sleep would make any Pokemon extremely viable, and really just comes down to a roll as whether the sleep happens or not. Still, the 30% chances are nothing to shake a stick at. And that's it, guys. Once again, these were just made for fun and are not canon at all in the games, just some things that I'd personally like to see in the games. If you like some of these moves or think you can improve upon them, let me know in the comments below. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been Danny Mac with Nerd Hype. Hope to see you in an upcoming video real soon, seeing as how we have more Alola form leaks coming out from Korokoro, and which will be covered here on this channel as they fully come out. Till then, see you next time, and as always, believe the hype. Later.